This is Ben Schaff with Level Up Tuts. Today we are going to stay on the Pixel and Tonic module for ExpressionEngine called Matrix. In the last couple videos we covered just the basic uses of it and also the search functionality. In this video I'm going to show you how to change around the sort, and we're also going to dip into some of these single variables. And this will probably be the last video on Matrix. If anybody has any questions, any further questions about Matrix, be sure to leave it in the comments on the YouTube video page. And while you're there, remember to subscribe to our channel and hop over to Twitter if you're on Twitter, and follow us at Level Up Tuts. And you can follow me at Ben Schaff. Alright, so I've added one more item to this entry, so let's hop over to the entry. Always hopping. So we'll see, you know, we've set up four different columns or four different cell types. We have a Boolean one that tells us whether it's a video or an image. If it's an image, then we're having our user fill out, upload an image and give it a caption. And if it's a video, they're just putting the embed code into the source. Otherwise, I think you can enable another button, but whatever. And one thing that you'll notice here is that I sort of dragged around these items to reorder, because remember we're going to talk about sort. So there's sort and there's ordering by, right? So sort really talks about, it's basically just like, A to Z or random, or Z to A. Right, those are like the three options: ascending, descending, and random. What order by refers to is, what is the piece of content that you want to order by, and we can order by any one of these columns by using the column name. So one thing that I wanted to show was that here we have an image, and then we have a video. Here we have an image, and here we have a video. We go to the page, and we're seeing this content outputted in the same order that is presented in the back of the system. I call that the natural order. I don't know if that's an actual technical term or not, but go ahead and when you use that, people should probably know. We'll probably know what you're talking about. So what we're going to want to do is change that. What you want to do, in the last video I showed you guys like sort of how to, two ways to sort of lump content together. Like we did a conditional, where we said, output the images and then output the video. And then we also did separately when we did that search, right? We said, search through the images and then search for the video. All right, so we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. So we're going to hop over to, again, more hopping. Jump over to the template. And let's see here. I'm going to do this differently. Well, actually, no, this will be fine. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to say order by equals, and say gallery type. So, it put it in, the like items are now seeing together, right? And if you remember, the value for this was image and then video, so IV. So by default, it's in the ascending order. If we want to change that, so here's order by. And by the way, you can order by more than one field, just using a pipe delimiter. So then we could say sort equals descending. Now we should see the opposite, right? Videos on top, images on the bottom. And then the one last thing on this item is, let's get rid of the order by. Like you have a gallery or something, and maybe you're showing a couple images. Actually, I'm pretty much doing the same thing somewhere else, but I'll just show you this. I think in my right column, I just have it like randomly putting these images in one order or another. So let's see what happens here. We're seeing video, we're seeing, so let's see here. We have the Sublime text video, and then we have the indie winner, and then we have CSS3, and then we have the speed of life here. So let's go ahead and give that a refresh. Right, totally different order. So there you go. So that's, you know, that can be a cool thing. Again, like you have a gallery and you want it to, you know, a random one to show up, and then go through like a slideshow or something like that. That's cool. That's easy to do with this. All right, so that's that wraps up, you know, sort order. You could also, you know, like I said, this is so similar to the channels entry. You can also do things like limit. So if you want to do, you know, random and only have one. So the indie, we have one. The video, you know, here now we're seeing the Sublime video, the indie, Sublime, and you know, so here's the other one. So there you go. That's pretty cool. All right. So quickly, I want to talk about the single variables. So a single variable is different than sort of what we've been doing so far, which is the parameters. That, you know, these are parameters. And you know, these are tags, and a single variable, you know, sort of is very similar to this, right? We've talked about this all over the place, you know, blah blah blah. I don't know, I can't find any good examples right now, but anyway, let's do one right now. So what we will want to do, let's just take away this whole mess, and one of the items is like row ID. What row ID will give you is the, you know, ID of the row that that entry belongs to. So let's do that, row ID, and then we'll also do this row. So those are also row count, and then I'll give you one sort of example of when you would do something like this. Row or total rows. That's the other one. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do this update. Refresh this. So, so the row, what it's referring to is not like 1, 2, 3, 4, but the way that was entered, I believe. So that's why we're seeing some discrepancy. Like, you know, this one's 1, this one's 3. Actually, you know what? No, I'm being an idiot. The reason why we're seeing it maybe in this order is because I have this sort of weird, you know, if stuff here or something. But anyway, so what you can do actually, if you wanted to limit something to just one particular row, you could say, you know, row ID equals this. I've never had to do that. What I've had to do is something more like this. When I'm trying to apply a class or something to the last item, what I can say is, you know, you can do this. If the row count is equal to the total number of rows, right? So if there was 4 total and the number was 4, you know, 4 would equal 4, then I could apply my, you know, class of last or whatever, and then don't even put an else, because then we don't even, you know, there's no need to do that. You can just put an if and then close it out. So those are just some of the single variables that you can use. And then lastly, the very last thing on this topic, and I'll just do this, I'll repeat the thing twice just so you can see the difference. There's a single pair that you can use and output this whole field just as a table, like very quickly. And you could apply some, you know, table stylings too, like setting the cell padding and cell spacing and that type of stuff, but I'm just gonna roll this out sort of like the default way. So here we're seeing, here's a table head, header row, and here are the values just outputted, as a table. So depending on what you're doing, you might very quickly be able to do this and not have to, if what you're wanting to display is very tabular, that might be it. Like even like a really light gallery, maybe that's all you need to do. So here's the first instance where I said gallery : table, and then here it is again. We're repeating it, where I'm putting this all out, sort of outputted whatever way I want, totally customized, like this one, which is sort of like a prefab output. All right, so that's it, and that's going to be it on the Matrix add-on for ExpressionEngine. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you're curious to know more, they have documentation over on their website, which is pixelandtonic.com, and I think it's just /matrix, so you can check it out there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check back for more great videos. See ya.